Tensei Shitara Slime Datta Ken, WN, Chapter 212. Sui and Laplace squared off against each other, grasping for each other's openings. They fell into a deadlock after several bouts of offense and defense in the blink of an eye. All of Laplace's unseen knives that were thrown towards Sui in the beginning had pierced Sui's body. Laplace thought that he had killed Sui with his surprise attack, but it was no more than a parallel existence that Sui had created. Sui is being cautious. Against the enemy that he's seen for the first time, he must not act like challenging him carelessly. Regardless of whether or not he will lose or win and whether or not the enemy is superior or inferior, Sui didn't let his guard down. Is this how you fight? With such strength, even if you fight fair and square you would be quite good. Ha ha ha, I'll receive praise, but I think I just want to enjoy and win. Still. You're very troublesome, Nii-san one. Even though I act because I could see a certain vision of I killing T was just an imitation. Just like what my intuition says, to withdraw is correct answer. Laplace prepared several knives in his hand while shaking his head in disappointment. And, from his mouth comes an enjoying smile. Just like his title as Wonder Clown, Laplace is enjoying fighting as something to live for. He pursued the presence of the Sui's main body while killing all of the created mirror images. He analyzed the magic power wave that Sui releases and might be said that he memorized it. Oh, how skillful. Carelessly intercepting it is difficult. One of the clones exploded at the same time as it repelled Laplace's knife. It seemed to be a bomb which disguised as a knife. And in addition to that, it's spirit bomb. Having all of 7 attributes, it's an object that contains the omnipotent attribute to counter the demonic and the holy attributes. He. Since Nasan's attribute is omnipotent attribute, I have received a bit it. To be frank, isn't it impossible for Ye to defeat Nasan who have both demonic and holy attribute? Although that Nii-san is also extremely dangerous, but it will be less embarrassing if Ye just be obedient, no. Do you really think so? Well, I guess Sae. Well, I will only force Ye to stay here. I don't know whether there's a lot of real body or fake ones, maybe it's all real. A clone user is really troublesome. You see, even when I don't know real body, if I surround Ye wi spirit bomb, even you'd not be able to do anything right. All of the knives have been already camouflaged by Laplace's unique skill deceiver. Or rather, only his word is feigned. All of the knives are spirit bomb. Without hesitation, he intended to kill Sui. Fu. Surround me, you say? Such thing will be not significant if I can transfer. While Sui says so, he transfers with space control. That's all according to Laplace's plan. Ha 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 ha. Nii-san, Ye don't seem to be careful. The spirit bombs had been configured to chain explode due to dimensional vibration. It flows all at once into distorted space transfer series skill and explode inside it. If ye receive that explosion, this side will get entangled too and receive damage, so T was fearful no. Well, cause your defeat is that Ye didn't notice ma puppet strings which had wrapped Ye around. Laplace wraps the knife with his puppet strings and let it twined around Sui. Not only just that, he linked the knife with the other knives, which were flying nearby, and set it to react to the movement of the other clones. Hypothetically, if Sui didn't use his transfer ability, there would be no problem even if Sui come charging while ignoring the spirit bombs. Because even if most of this audience hall got blown away, it would be easy to retrieve his comrade that is Tyr and Footman and to escape. Laplace fiddled with the timing of the explosion as it was not a problem for him. After all, with his unique skill seer, he could see it clearly, Sui's figure being swallowed up by the explosion. Without hesitation, Laplace begun his attack with conviction that he could surely kill Sui. Laplace laughs loudly, pleased that his plan would end well. Sorry, it's a bad place for you to be pleased so much, but let's end this soon. Laplace heard a cold voice from his back. And then, he cannot hide his surprise as a straight sword too stuck out from his chest. Laplace can't understand what happened. This can't be, could do nothing but to speak such stupid word. It was simple when the truth was revealed. Sui from the beginning concealed his main body in the darkness. It was not his main body which was surrounded by the bombs, it was only one of his parallel existence. He calculated the position of Leon's castle with Eye of the Moon of his ultimate gift Shadow Moon 3 Lord Tsukuyomi and carried out a direct transfer to the inside of the barrier. And then, he concealed his main body with Shadow using law manipulation, Shadow, and launch a surprise attack with the effect of one-hit kill. Without any sign of naivete like Benimaru, that's Sui's way of fighting. But geez. I never think that my younger brother would get so easily killed like this. Younger brother, you say? Mew. In response of the bloodthirst, Sui jumped aside from that spot. With the eyes which foresee everything, he sensed a danger simultaneously with an uncomfortable feeling. At the same time, the knife which stuck in Laplace's corpse was scattered by the explosion of the body. If his evasion was a bit late, Sui would rolled up in the explosion and would not come out unharmed. Just kidding. Did ye really think that I have a younger brother? To tell you truth, I have a similar ability as yet too. The truth is, just like you I had thought today a surprise attack, but that won't be good, hence I reveal myself. Well, it's been a while for ma clone to be killed. Laplace spouts lies brazenly while preparing his surprise attack. He narrows his eyes and smiles. His behavior of making fool of someone is just like him, a hedonist. Marionette Master Clayman. Laplace is Clayman's master. He made a magic doll which modeled after himself and manipulated it with automatic operation. And, his target, well then, it's been a long time since I rampaging seriously. For underestimating me, I'll show ya a painful experience. It's time for ya to be prepared. It's you who need to be prepared. You need to stop the foolish delusions such as you defeating me, and you should immediately return to the darkness. And the two people fought each other and their fight reached a deadlock. Benimaru and Kazarim had broken through the barrier which Miyazuri had set up and also the city barrier. The two were now having a battle airspace high above. Kazarim begins to violently attacking Benimaru, taking the advantage of his enormous energy. The fight between a fellow spiritual life form could be said as a struggle to investigate the enemy's energy. One would win if they deprived the enemy of their power and decreased their existence power. His ultimate skill was means for that, Kazarim made Benimaru consume his energy by effectively releasing his ability. No. He was under impression that he did so. Well, how's it? You can't counterattack. What happened with your condescending attitude from before? Kazarim, who relied fully on his power, concentrated his energy to his fists and hits Benimaru repeatedly. For Kazarim, who been optimized by his ultimate skill Dominion Lord Melchizedek, he was convinced that the octagram won't be his opponent. In fact, even Leon would be just like a baby in front of Kazarim. He was able to see that Misery, who had been preaching before, was a worthless existence who could only receive a single blow from him. That's right. In front of his ultimate optimization called Holy Demonic Unification, which integrated the power of demon and angel, holy and demonic, he was confident that there was no angel nor demon that could be his equal. Kazarim thought that there was no reason for him to lose if himself was above in both quantity and the quality of the energy. In fact, he succeeded in offsetting Leon's holy strike and even Misery's demon power equally and adding a counterattack. Even if Kazarim does nothing, his enemies would destroy themselves on their own. It was the counter-lapse that Kazarim had devised. Of course he activated it when he was attacked. He let the damage accumulate by offsetting the attack while depriving the enemy's energy by crashing his energy. He won't lose unless his enemy surpasses his energy. It was an ability that ensures certain victory. And, as one of the four fiends of the heavenly commanders who have the strongest power, Kazarim thought that there was no other existence that's more superior than himself. What happened? Are you unable to do anything when I get serious? When you realized about my power, it has already been too late, you see. What a fool. If you didn't obstruct me, you would have been able to live a little longer. I want to see Leon's crying face without any delay, so I will kill you soon. Kazarim was about to finish off Benimaru while laughing evilly. Kazarim was merry because of his strengthened ability. He was completely convinced that no one can oppose him. Certainly that it's a strong ability. It might be not weird for Kazarim to think so. However, it could be said that it was a too foolish act. Kazarim was convinced that his ability is the strongest and doesn't have weakness. Therefore, he was too overconfident with his ability. That's why, he didn't notice. His attacks didn't do any damage to Benimaru. Ora. How's that? Moreover, Kazarim was getting carried away. Shut up. The fist that Benimaru threw hit Kazarim's face. Buoboat. Just with that one blow, it had robbed most of Kazarim's consciousness. Buobat, gat. Kazarim turned his gaze to Benimaru with his eyes opened wide in astonishment. While looking like he's pitying Kazarim, Benimaru pointed out the reality. Your attacks doesn't work against me at all, you see. So he said. Kazarim couldn't understand the meaning behind Benimaru's word that might be so. Kazarim was conceited that he had obtained the strongest power, because until just now, he had stood as the strongest. And yet, that there is an enemy whom his attacks wouldn't work against is something that he would never deem as possible. Don't be joking. What a stupid thing to say. Is that so? I understood. It's a bluff, you must be bluffing. Ha, what a shrewd guy. I won't get deceived by such foolish lie. he unreasonably interpret the fact on his own. Then, he condensed his energy with the maximum output in both his hands, and took a stance toward Benimaru. Yuri finished. Even if I fall into your tricks, you would be hopeless in front of my absolute power. How unfortunate. A fool won't understand it. Grinning and sprouting a smile, Kazarim regained his composure and felt the reliable power in both of his hands. Well then, goodbye. If you want to resent your own powerlessness. Arc depression, ruler's melancholy. What he had shot out was a dreadful energy wave that could be called as holy demonic wave cannon, which would rapidly exhaust the target's energy. Even with speed surpassing dozens of times the speed of sound, it might be impossible to avoid it, and that sure kill wave was rushing towards Benimaru. But, there was no change in Benimaru's expression. With his cherished katana guren in his hand, he calmly took a stance. Do you know? Speed is power. In other words, swinging his beloved katana, Benimaru warded off Kazarim's sure kill attack and nullified it with his rebirth flame. He could have counterattacked, but he deliberately held back. Because he was going to kill Kazarim with the next attack. Ha! Ha! Kazarim, who opened his eyes wide to their limits, was astonished. He witnessed an impossible spectacle in front of his eyes and his mind can't catch up with it. Well, such a dull attack of yours can't reach me, you know. In other words, it means that your attack can't affect me. There's one thing I can praise you for. You were certainly superior than me only in the total amount of power. But, if it's about the quality, I'm overwhelming superior than you. Just that. Can you understand it? Then, die. Prominence acceleration. Kazarim's movement stopped as he was too astonished and had entered a panic state, received Benimaru's special attack. The black sunlight, which took the shape of an oriental dragon, swallowed half of Kazarim's body while moving as if it has its own will. The quality was exactly like Benimaru had stated. The nature of the released energy was so terrifying, like a tyrant. The reason was because the nihility energy that his adored and respected master, the great demon lord Rimuru, has. Some of Rimuru's subordinates had approached to the nihility nature of Rimuru through the soul's corridor. Therefore, it wasn't weird for Benimaru to offsetting Kazarim's attack, which had the holy and demonic attributes. It was blocked by Benimaru's energy, which superior in quality, and the attack was nullified. Although it can't be compared with Rimuru the originator, as the original was moving in super high speed and had enhanced energy, it was still a finishing move. In all aspects, it may be said that Benimaru was skillful. I still can't control it perfectly yet. Benimaru grumbled. Although he had no complaint about the power, the accuracy didn't go as he wanted. The technique was a technique in which Rimuru instructed Benimaru to imitate cardinal acceleration, which was the ultimate attack of the scorched dragon Vilgrind. Unlike Vilgrind, who was a high-density spiritual life form by nature, it was still premature for Benimaru to master it, seeing that he had just finished evolving. But, Benimaru's ability was the ultimate skill, blazing sun for Lord Amaterasu, with light and heat control, acceleration, as the ability's crux. There were still a lot of things which he could learn from Vilgrind's ability. Or rather, it's just my guess, but I think I inherited the ability that Rimuru-sama acquired from Vilgrind-sama. Benimaru comprehended. and Zijin, Ranga, and the other, might have inherited the ability from Felder-Asama. As for Diablo, that guy seemed to inherit a direct ability from Rimuru-sama. So, he remembered the opponent he engaged in desperate struggles inside the labyrinth for many times. Using the labyrinth characteristic where they can't die, Benimaru and Diablo had performed real combat trainings over and over again. The result was his complete defeat on every match. Aside from places the public can watch such as the tournament, Diablo never holds back against his opponent. Although it's good that I had a glimpse of the end of his strength, that fellow, I'll beat him someday. Kyu-fyu-fyu-fyu-fyu. Benimaru felt a bit unpleasant as he remembered Diablo's loud laugh. Benimaru knew about it, but recently Diablo seemed to be considerably feigning ignorance in front of Rimuru. However, if it might be said that, on the contrary, it could thought that he was close with Diablo, that he could saw his hidden true self. While forcibly making himself agreed to it, Benimaru moved his gaze to Kazarim, who fell down and went towards him to deliver the final blow.